My brother used my autistic son as proof to get out of jury duty. He said he was my full-time caretaker. I found the paperwork and posted it. Now his wife's family is threatening to sue me. I'm not the kind of guy who usually vents online. I keep my head down, take care of my kid, do my job, and try not to let stuff get to me. But this crawled so deep under my skin I can't think straight. I'm 39, full-time single dad raising my 10-year-old son Eli. He's autistic, brilliant, stubborn as hell, obsessed with the solar system, and refuses to eat anything green unless it's shaped like a dinosaur. Yeah, some days are rough, but he's mine and I show up for him no matter what. Which is why this mess hit me sideways. My older brother, he's always been the smooth talker. The kind of guy who can spin a story just enough to skate by. But this time he went too far. He faked being Eli's full-time caregiver. Used my son, my life, as a damn excuse to get out of jury duty. Told the court I was struggling, that he'd stepped in, played the hero. Had actual paperwork. Signed. Filed. Like he'd been the one handling the therapy sessions, the hospital nights, the screaming breakdowns over loud noises. I only found out because I was helping mom sort through some storage crap. Saw the forms. Scanned them twice. And yeah, I posted a screenshot. No names. No addresses. Just proof. Now his wife's family is threatening to sue me for character defamation. Says I've ruined him. But he used my son as a prop. So if they want to paint me as the bad guy, fine. Let me give them the full picture. We weren't always this close, my brother and I mean, and by close, I don't mean warm fuzzy family dinners or childhood trauma bonding, I mean close enough that he knew where I kept the spare key and exactly how bad things had gotten for me lately. Growing up, we were more like frenemies than siblings. He was the golden boy, charming, athletic, always the one who could sweet talk his way out of anything. I was the scrappy one, the nerd with asthma, the one who got grounded for his smart mouth while he just got a smile and boys will be boys. Our parents didn't play favorites, they just made it obvious. I always figured we'd grow out of it. That eventually we'd both be adults and it'd even out. Spoiler alert, it didn't. He got a cool job in media, lived like some single TikTok guru, gym in the morning, cocktails by sunset. I got a mortgage, an ex-wife who bailed when things got hard, and Eli, my son, my whole damn universe, who got diagnosed with autism at 3 and changed my life in every way that matters. And yeah, it's hard. Not Instagram hard. Real hard. The kind where school meetings leave you in the parking lot crying, or you have to explain to strangers why your kid is screaming on the floor because the automatic door sensor didn't beep. And through all that, my brother? He'd show up once every few months with a stuffed animal and act like he deserved a parade. Called himself Uncle of the Year in our family group chat like he was some Disney character. And you know what? I tolerated it. Because Eli liked him. Because for 5 minutes at a time, my son smiled when he was around. I bit my tongue. I even laughed at his dumb stories about his podcast or his influencer friends. I let him use my house like a crash pad when his apartment got fumigated, let him eat my food, play the fun uncle role without ever asking him to do the hard stuff. I didn't think he owed me anything, but I did think he respected me. Or at least Eli. And then one random Thursday, I walk into mom's kitchen looking for the stupid air fryer basket she borrowed, and I see the stack of mail. Normal stuff. Coupons. A bill from the cable company. And then this thick, yellowed envelope. Government issued. Addressed to him, but opened. I'm nosy, okay? I flipped it over. And there it was. A signed exemption from jury duty. Primary caretaker of a dependent child with severe needs. With Eli's full name. My address. And some doctor's note I didn't recognize attached. I didn't even know what I was looking at. For a second I thought, hoped it was identity theft. Like maybe someone used Eli's info randomly. But no. There was my brother's handwriting. His signature. And the smug little box checked off that said he provided daily support. I swear, my vision went white for a second. Like I could hear blood rushing in my ears. Mom's in the background talking about some casserole she wants to try, and I'm just standing there, holding this legal *****ing lie, wondering what kind of monster pretends to care for a disabled child to get out of sitting on a jury. My child. My life. My sleep-deprived, meltdown-scarred, overstretched reality turned into a fake backstory for convenience. And the worst part? I wasn't even shocked. Just, hollow. Like of course he did this. Of course he saw my struggle, my burnout, my every damn cracked edge, and instead of offering help, he stole it. Framed it. Filed it with the court. Got credit for a life he's never once stayed awake through. And in that moment, I swear to God, it felt like he spat on everything I'd built to keep Eli safe. And yeah, I wanted to explode. But I didn't. I smiled. I handed Mom the air fryer tray. And I left. Because now I had the one thing he didn't think anyone would find: proof. And believe me, I knew exactly what I was gonna do with it. It started stupid. Like, dumb enough that I thought maybe I was overreacting. My brother Matt sent me this funny clip one night, just a little TikTok he said, nothing serious, and it was someone joking about faking stuff to get out of jury duty. I laughed whatever, didn't think twice. Then I got an envelope from the county, just standard civic stuff, right? Inside, there's this form and it lists my name. But not for me. For Matt. He have literally used my name as a reference. Except not just my name. He put down that I was disabled with severe dependency and that he was my son's full-time caretaker, like, signed, sworn, legally binding. I'm reading this with my mouth literally hanging open like a cartoon idiot because who the hell does that? I didn't even know he remembered Mia was autistic, let alone weaponized it like this. And yeah, the word he used was nonverbal dependent minor with high needs care. Bro, Mia's verbal. She's thriving in school. She's got challenges, yeah, but this? This was straight up fake pity bait trash and he wrote it like it was a college essay. For a second, I thought maybe I was reading it wrong. Maybe some typo, some weird automated thing. So I texted him like WTF is this, and he hit me with oh lol that? Just paperwork, don't worry. Don't worry? Dude, you impersonated a caretaker for a child with additional needs and you used my daughter for clout to dodge civic responsibility. And here's the real kicker, when I pressed him he started backpedaling like bro it's just a form and then pivoted to full gaslight mode, saying you know she needs help sometimes, I was just exaggerating a little. Little? This man turned a 6-year-old into a fictional prop for a lie and expected me to laugh it off. And when I told him I was gonna clear it up, he had the audacity to say I'd be making things harder for him, that his wife's family would freak if this got out and he's got enough on his plate. I swear I just stood there staring at my phone like, is this real life? Like, I've covered for him before, sure. Stupid little things, missing tools, excuses to his wife when he's late, even helped him with rent once. But this? He used my kid. He used my daughter, who he barely visits, barely knows, as a pawn in a government lie and didn't even think to warn me. And now I'm supposed to sit quiet for the sake of his reputation? Nah, not this time. This time I'm not the one cleaning up his mess. This time I'm pressing post. So yeah, after that phone call, which ended with him literally saying it's not that deep, like he didn't just write my daughter's life into a government form for his convenience, I go full quiet mode. Not silent like I'm backing off, more like silent like the air before a thunderstorm. I don't text back. I don't reply. I just sit there at my kitchen counter, staring at the crumb-covered placemat Mia insists is lucky, and start pulling receipts. Emails. School forms. Therapy schedules. Hell, I even dug up the birthday invitation he never RSVP'd to. Because if he wants to play pretend dad on paper, I'm going to show just how invisible he's really been. And then I find the thing that makes my stomach turn, a group photo from 2 years ago, Christmas Eve, where he's holding Mia like he actually knows how. She's midst him, overwhelmed by all the lights and noise, and he's smiling like he's performing for the camera. That was the night she had a meltdown in the hallway and he told me I was too soft. That I spoil her. But now she's part of his act? The rage that bubbles up isn't even loud. It's cold. I start writing a post, not even public, just something I draft in our local parent support group. I don't name him, but I lay it all out that someone in our family claimed full-time care for a child they don't even see and got out of jury duty using her diagnosis. The responses hit fast, not just support, but stories. People saying they've had similar things happen. One mom said her sister did it for disability credits. Another said her cousin faked a mental illness to dodge a fine. Suddenly, I didn't feel insane. I felt vindicated. Like, okay, this wasn't just me being dramatic. It was a pattern. And I wasn't gonna be another quiet chapter. So I scanned the jury document, redacted Mia's name, and I posted it on my personal feed with the caption, "Don't lie about my kid. Especially not to the government." The likes hit fast. Then the DMs started. Not from strangers. From his wife's family. One of them, a cousin, messaged me saying I was being cruel. That I was ruining a man's career over a misunderstanding. I laughed out loud. Like, full body laughed. Because sure, let's call it a misunderstanding when someone rewrites my daughter's life and signs it under penalty of perjury. The irony? Half of them didn't even know she was autistic. That's how little my brother has ever brought her up. So yeah, I posted it. And I'd do it again. Because if he wanted to play dad on paper, he just got a taste of what real accountability looks like. I thought posting the paperwork would be the end of it, right? Like boom, exposure done, message sent, let the chips fall. But no, it was just the start of the fireworks show. Within hours, Matt's wife was calling me nonstop. Missed calls, voice notes, please take it down. And my personal favorite, you don't understand what you've done. Oh, I understand, sweetheart. I pulled the curtain back on your husband's little cosplay, and now y'all are scrambling like I lit the kitchen on fire. Then her sister jumps in. Someone I haven't spoken to since they shamed me at Mia's 3rd birthday for not serving gluten-free, and sends this big long paragraph about family loyalty and how I'm destroying relationships that can't be rebuilt. Sis, Matt destroyed that the second he used my child's diagnosis like a get-out-of-jail-free card. And then came the email from Matt himself. No apology, no responsibility, just this half-baked attempt to gaslight me. I didn't mean it literally, he writes. I just said what they needed to hear. Like my daughter's life is some improv scene he can ad-lib through. And here's the thing that really made my blood run cold. In the email, he low-key threatens to escalate legally if I don't delete the post. Bro, you forged government paperwork using my kid. and now you want to play the victim because people found out? The audacity is intergalactic. I screenshot the email, didn't post it yet, but I sent it to a friend who's a lawyer just in case. Then came the ultimate kicker. Our mom called, not to check on me, not to ask how Mia was handling the tension. No, she called to say Matt didn't mean harm, and that I was embarrassing the family. Like we're living in 1954 and public shame is worse than public lies. I just let her talk until she ran out of steam, and then I said one sentence. If you defend him again, we're done. She got quiet. Then she hung up, and I sat there in the dark, laptop screen glowing, with Mia asleep on the couch under her favorite dinosaur blanket, thinking, this is it. This is the moment the line was drawn. Matt wanted to fake being a hero. Now he's learning what it's like to face someone who's done hiding. After that, everything just kind of imploded sideways. Matt didn't go quiet. Oh no, he went full PR mode, like some D-list celebrity caught in a scandal. He updated his socials with photos of him holding Mia from 2 Christmases ago. Captioned, always been there for my family. Bro, you couldn't even name her therapist last week. And I know he did it for damage control because suddenly his comment section filled up with proud of you, man, and real dad step up. Like he's auditioning for Father of the Year with a performance that would get him booted from community theater. Meanwhile, I start getting tagged in vague Facebook posts from his in-laws. The type that say things like, some people don't understand boundaries, and not everything needs to be public. Passive-aggressive boomer code for, we're embarrassed you exposed our golden boy. Even my cousin reached out, the one who once told me Mia was too much to handle at family barbecues. She messaged me, asking if I'd consider forgiveness. I left her on read. And yeah, maybe that was petty, but I'm past the phase where I babysit everyone's discomfort. I'm the one who cleaned vomit off car seats, handled meltdowns in Walmart aisles, cried in the bathroom after IEP meetings where people treated me like furniture. Matt doesn't get to borrow that pain and call it a costume. So yeah, I didn't take down the post. In fact, I added a note. Before anyone asks, yes, I've contacted the court directly. That was the final straw, apparently, because next thing I know, I get a formal email from Matt's wife's family lawyer. Not even him, but her uncle who handles real estate law, warning me about potential defamation and long-term consequences. I laughed so hard I nearly choked on my tea. Like, imagine bluffing with a Monopoly card when I've got a whole binder of receipts. Still, I forwarded it to my own lawyer, who basically told me they don't have a case unless they want to open themselves to discovery. Which, spoiler alert, they don't. Because then it's game over. Mia's got a right to her own truth, and I've got nothing left to lose. So yeah, after the fake legal threat fizzled out like a wet firecracker, you'd think that'd be the end, right? That maybe, just maybe, Matt would back off, slither into whatever shame hole he crawled out of and stay quiet. Nope. He doubled down. Dude made a whole Notes app apology and posted it on Facebook like we are in some celebrity drama saga. To those who felt hurt, bro, just say my name. Say my daughter's name. He actually wrote, sometimes in trying to help, we cross lines. Help who? You forged a court doc to dodge jury duty and used a child you never visit as your excuse. What part of that is help? I screenshotted it, of course. My group chat went feral. My friend Jenna literally wrote, tell him he can cross the line into traffic. And then, and this is where it got truly unhinged, his wife tried to call me. Like voice call. No warning. Just boom, phone vibrating while I'm microwaving leftover curry. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail that started calm, then full spiraled into this martyr monologue about how Matt's been crying every night and we're all broken. Lady, I've been broken for years. You're just catching up. I saved the voicemail. Might drop it in a future post, who knows? Petty? Maybe. Deserved? Absolutely. Because the worst part isn't even what Matt did. It's how many people acted like the real crime was me speaking up. Like silence is some holy duty we all owe to dysfunctional family systems. Like calling out a lie is worse than living with it. That week, I got more DMs than I've had in my entire life, some from old friends saying they had no idea, others from people I barely know saying they support me but, and you know how that sentence ends. Whatever. I blocked the worst of them. I muted his wife. I even removed mom from the babysitting list for the month because yeah, she went back to defending him again, said he didn't mean it the way it sounded. Girl, he wrote it down. Signed it. Mailed it. You don't accidentally commit fraud. At this point, I've accepted that this whole thing might snowball further. Maybe someone reports him officially, maybe it just fades into awkward silence at family weddings. But either way, I'm done playing nice. He made my daughter a prop in his script. I flipped the stage lights on. Curtains up. Let's see how he performs now. So here's where things start shifting. I stopped explaining. I stopped defending. Like some switch just flipped and I realized I don't owe anyone the reasonable version of me anymore. Not after everything. I'm not playing translator for my own trauma. I started documenting everything. Screenshots, dates, voice memos. I pulled Mia's full care schedule, every document from every IEP, therapy note, all of it. Not because I was planning to use it, just because I wanted it in one place like a fireproof folder of truth. The clarity? It hit hard. For the first time in years, I wasn't second-guessing myself or trying to manage everyone's emotions. I was just seeing facts. Matt hadn't visited in 11 months. He missed Mia's last birthday. He doesn't even follow her school account. And he had the nerve to write her name on that form like he's some war hero of compassion? Nope. Game over. I also stopped hiding the situation from Mia's support circle. Her teacher knows now. Her therapist knows. My boss even knows, and to his credit, he didn't blink, just asked if I needed flexible hours to deal with the family fallout. That's the wildest part. Strangers stepped up. Friends stepped up. My weird neighbor Dan, who once tried to gift me expired hummus, even offered to help with grocery runs if I needed it. But the ones who should have been there? Silent. Ashamed, maybe. But still silent. And suddenly that silence wasn't loud anymore. It was pathetic. I wasn't afraid of losing them. I was embarrassed I ever thought they were holding me up. Mia? She's thriving. She made a glittery sign that says "My dad is strong" and taped it above her bed like it's gospel. I look at that thing every night before I crash. And yeah, maybe I'm tired. But I'm not tired the same way anymore. I'm not tired of hiding or holding back. I'm tired like someone who just dropped a 50-pound lie they didn't even realize they were carrying. And I'm not picking it back up. And once I let go of trying to make them understand Matt, his wife, my mom, the whole peanut gallery, it got quiet in a new way. Not empty, just cleared out. Like I'd finally shut a window that had been letting in cold air for years. I started saying no out loud more. No, I'm not coming to the barbecue. No, I don't want to talk about it at brunch. No, I don't think he's a good person deep down. He lied, he used a child, and he covered it with a fake apology post. There's no deep down in that. Just dirt. And then get this, one of his buddies DMs me like, "Hey man, I know it got messy, but maybe think about Mia. You don't want to ruin her relationship with her uncle." Or what now? Relationship? She doesn't even recognize him when he's on FaceTime. He's a stranger with shared DNA and bad cologne. That's not family, that's a ghost people keep pretending is real. But hey, thanks for the unsolicited advice, bro. I muted him too. And the more I let people fall away, the lighter it got. Like wow, this is what it feels like when you stop dragging dead weight. Mia started sleeping better. I started laughing more, not fake small talk laughs, but actual gut stuff, like when she made me wear a tiara to her tea party and called me Princess Tech Support. Honestly, I'd wear that crown into battle at this point. Because I've seen now, the people who show up even when it's awkward, even when it's hard, those are the ones who count. The rest? Let them threaten, guilt trip, or play the victim. I'm done auditioning for their forgiveness. Let him boo from the cheap seats. I'm not on their stage anymore. And the wildest thing? Once I stopped engaging, they ran out of steam. No new voicemails, no more fake apologies, not even a half-hearted birthday text from Matt when Mia turned 7 last week. Just silence. Beautiful, awkward, revealing silence. I used to think that meant failure, like I'd lost something. Now I get it. That silence? It's the sound of people losing access to me. That's the shift. That's the power. I don't have to chase closure or beg people to understand the damage they caused. I know what happened. I lived it. I cleaned it up. I protected my daughter through it. That's more than enough. And honestly, watching them scramble, watching their mutuals slowly unfollow me like I'm radioactive, it's kind of hilarious. Like bro, I'm the one who got lied about and now you're uncomfortable? Okay. Mia doesn't ask about him. She asks if we can build more pillow forts. She asks if dinosaurs can be astronauts. That's where my energy goes now, into the stuff that matters, not into defending myself against people who were never listening anyway. And it's not like everything's fixed. I still get anxious opening certain emails, still clench up when I see blocked numbers. But I'm not stuck. I'm not drowning. I'm building something better, even if it's messy. And yeah, I've still got the post up. I don't care if it haunts him forever. He earned that shadow. So yeah, I guess this is where it lands. Not some dramatic courtroom moment or viral justice finale, just a slow, quiet shift I didn't even notice at first. Like one day I realized I hadn't checked his social in weeks. I hadn't replayed that voicemail from his wife. I'd stopped writing imaginary replies in my head to people who never deserved explanations. I just moved forward. Mia's in a new school now, better program, smaller class, her speech therapist is basically her superhero. We have routines again. Breakfast with cartoons. Evening walks with her little scooter that rattles like it's falling apart, but she loves it. On Sundays we do pajamas all day and she calls me Chef Daddy while I make her weird grilled cheese inventions. That's life now. And I don't mean that in a performative everything is sunshine way. There's still mess. I still flinch when a random number calls. I still get a tight chest when I have to explain to someone new why Mia doesn't have a relationship with half her family. But I'm not bleeding from it anymore. I'm just healing. Slowly, weirdly, imperfectly. Mom still sends texts. Her latest was a picture of some article about the power of forgiveness with no caption, just the link. I didn't open it. I blocked her number 2 hours later. I don't hate her. I just can't let her keep renting space in my brain with that fake wisdom energy. Same with Matt. I don't check his feed, but someone sent me a screenshot recently. He's selling t-shirts now with slogans like "misunderstood, not malicious." Like bro, you weaponized a kid and now you're branding it? I didn't reply. I just exhaled. Because that version of me, the one who would have ranted, posted a comeback, tried to make people see he's tired. He's had enough. Now I just hold my lane. I show up for Mia. I protect our peace like it's the only thing that matters. Because it is. Last night she asked if she could invite her classmate over for a play date. Her first real friend. And while she decorated cookies with more frosting than cookie, I just watched. Thought, yeah, this is it. This is the rebuild. No trumpets. No applause. Just small, safe moments stitched together until the world feels kind again. And if Matt ever tries to come back with his crocodile tears or half apologies, I won't even answer the door. Not out of spite. Out of self-respect. I'm done narrating his story. I'm too busy living mine. And it's weird, right? How the people who hurt you the most always assume they're entitled to a sequel. Like just because time passed, I'm supposed to unburn what they torched. But time didn't fix anything I did. Through every sleepless night, through every therapy bill, through every parent-teacher meeting where I had to explain again why certain names won't be on the emergency contact list. That's what healing looked like. Not grace, not group hugs. Just effort. Constant, exhausting effort. And for what it's worth, I don't walk around angry anymore. I'm not crafting revenge plans in my head or imagining some dramatic moment where Matt begs for forgiveness on his knees. That's not real life. Real life is way quieter. Real life is deleting his contact without fanfare. Real life is changing the locks and not telling anyone. Real life is making pancakes with your kid and realizing halfway through that you didn't think about him once. That's the win. That's the closure. And yeah, sometimes I still catch myself scrolling old photos, seeing birthdays or holidays before everything broke. I don't cry. I don't rage. I just feel this hollow kind of sadness, like watching footage from a show you got written out of. But then Mia laughs from the next room or asks me if turtles have eyebrows, and it snaps me right back. I'm here. I'm present. And I'm done letting ghosts set the tone. Maybe one day she'll ask about him. I'll tell her the truth. Not the cruel truth, not the sugar-coated version either, just enough for her to understand what love shouldn't look like. And until then, we build. One quiet, strong day at a time. Update, didn't think I'd post again, but here we are. So, remember how I said I hadn't heard from Matt in months? Yeah, that didn't age well. Apparently his wife's cousin found the post. The one with the screenshots and the jury duty paperwork. She emailed me from some weird burner account like, just giving you a heads up, they're talking about legal action. Cool. So now I've got Matt's side of the family sending me all this vague legal-sounding nonsense. Defamation, harassment, emotional damage, like I forged the documents? Like I called CPS on myself for content? Bro, sit down. I didn't delete a thing. If anything, I added a note clarifying that I'm not accusing them of anything not backed up with receipts. Because guess what? The truth doesn't need PR. And the absolute kicker? Matt messaged my ex-wife. Yeah. Haven't heard from her in over a year, and suddenly she's calling me like, why is your brother asking about custody stuff? What? He's not even on Mia's emergency list, let alone in her life, but now he's trying to backdoor his way into relevance by poking the one person I legally separated from? I'm so done. I blocked every number I don't recognize. Updated all my settings. Even Mia's school has been alerted. I'm not playing chess with clowns. If they wanted to sue, they'll have to explain to a judge why using a disabled child's name for jury duty fraud is a joke worth protecting. Good luck with that. And I swear, the second I told Mia's school, the vice principal gave me that look, the "are you sure you're not being dramatic" face. But then I pulled up the screenshots. The emails. The clip from the podcast where Matt literally jokes about taking one for the team so he could stay home and play Xbox while pretending to be a caregiver. Her face changed fast. Now there's a note in the system. No pickups unless pre-approved, no visitors unless cleared. Honestly, it's exhausting having to prove over and over that I'm not paranoid, just prepared. I didn't ask for any of this. I didn't go digging. I just opened my kid's lunchbox one day and found a sticky note that said, "Tell Daddy not to be mad at Uncle Matt." That was 3 days ago. She didn't even know what it meant. Said a lady gave it to her at pickup. No name. No explanation. I didn't sleep that night. Didn't eat much since. But I filed a report. Updated the footage outside our building. And I'm keeping the post up. Let em see it. Let em spin. Let em threaten. I'm still here. I'm not moving. And if Uncle Matt wants to keep sending messages through preschoolers, maybe his next defense should be too creative for jail.